I don't think you can beat this cookie. This is probably the best cookie I've ever eaten in my life. Three things make the best chocolate chip cookie in the world. Number one, don't overstir the batter. Number two, parchment paper is your friend when baking. And number three, don't overcook them. Look for that little slight browning effect. Get them out of there. Welcome into camp and welcome to the bakery, because we're fitting to show you how to make the best chocolate chip cookie ever in the whole wide world. I do not like a cookie that you have to take to the chuck box lid and break in half because it's been overcooked. Yeah, I've got to have that great flavor that I think really milk chocolate chips bring to a cookie, but it's got to have that good brown sugar mixture in there that's going to give it more of that sort of like a caramel taste, and it's just a little crispy on the bottom and chewy in the middle. You shouldn't have to dunk them in something and let them soak 30 minutes before you can eat them. Them things will crack a tooth. Ask the Mage. He's got 2 gone already. Don't you, Mage? Yes, he does. So to get this started, we have some room temperature butter. And room temperature out here today is about 82 degrees, I think. So 2 sticks of that right in there. Light brown sugar, cup packed in there pretty good. Yeah, go ahead and just dump her right in there. Cup of white sugar. Now, at home, when I made these cookies, and I got tired of making 3 or 4 different batches, we give them all away to my granddaughter. I had one of them newfangled mixer deals that was really nice to do all this. Let me see what I got. What episode wouldn't be complete to not break out a power tool with a kitchen utensil hooked right on top? You cannot beat this. You want to be careful. Y'all probably got one of them beaters that's got 2 on there. Helps a little. I have to go a little slower here. Pretty handy it is, folks. That is what I call cream together butter, sugar, sugar. All right, now we have 3 eggs. Now, when my mother would say you had a recipe that called for 2 large eggs, and she would send me to the chicken house to get 3 medium eggs. That makes 2 large eggs.
Those are pretty small, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would call them nearly a medium, not a small. You're going to hurt my chicken's feelings, okay? So don't be talking about them like that. So a lot of people would just drop these in there and then beat them up in there again together. Well, that's what you call what? Over mixing the foundation. Yes. So we're going to crack them right in here, and you can tell these are good homemade eggs. That shell is not paper thin like them things you buy at the store. And them yellers is good and bright. Oh my gosh, they're going to make a really good cookie. Now, it don't take much, and bear with me, this is going to be loud. So, right in here it goes. Now we're going to take this here newfangled machinery here, and we're going to run it around there one more time to get it like we want it. Well, folks, that is what you call tasty right there, I promise you. But we got to have a little something that's going to bring out some flavor. I'd like to thank my good friend Billy Blair for bringing me what? Some good Mexican vanilla. Now, you can find this a lot of places, and folks, to me, it has a more vanilla-like taste that is jump out and get you. I really like it. So we're going to add a capful right here, we are. But also, we got a secret ingredient that goes in there that I think really steps these cookies up and throws them over the top for Cookie Monster on the Muppets. He would really love them. What is it? Salted caramel syrup. So I'm going to add about that much right there, and that's going to be the right amount. I'm going to do away with this. Can you smell that, Shan? That is smelling some of that good. Don't over mix. Remember, we're just going to get this combined really good with that caramel sauce and the vanilla. We're going to set that right there for just 1 minute. Bring in the what? 3½ cups of flour. All purpose it is. Got to have a little baking soda, which is 2 teaspoons. Mash them up in there. The rest of it we'll throw over yonder somewhere. And some Clabber Girl baking powder. Remember, always check your dates on yeast, baking powder, baking soda, because it can go bad. About yay much will be just right. Give it a mix with your hand. We got to have a little salt. Folks, I cannot stress enough on the perfect chocolate chip cookie. Do not whip this. We do not want to overmix. Remember? Now, we have our dry ingredients, and we're not just going to dump it in there. No, we're just going to put some in there, fold it in, and look here. We have more fodder. This is what you call protein. Some grass. Just keep folding this in that dough. But boy, we made a bad mistake. We like to forgot out some of this.
Ooh,
Important factor in the world. Now, I'm pretty fond of the Ghirardelli people, and they ain't sponsoring this video, but they make good bacon chocolate chips. They do. Not bacon like pig bacon, but bacon as in B-A-K. So how many does it take? A whole sack. You cannot have a chocolate chip cookie that has one chip in it, but I want that really rich chocolatey taste that this is going to bring about. Folks, I'm just going to tell you, this is a cookie's best friend here. I ain't asking you just to get in there. Just keep folding that. You see me as doing it. A spatula is your buddy. Parchment paper went in the Dutch oven because you're supposed to cook these in the house at a preheated oven of 350 degrees for probably about 9 to 11 minutes. Long in there, 8 to 10. You're just going to have to depend on your gas range or your electric, but keep an eye on them. Most important, when you see them getting that golden brown edge right there on the bottom, pull them. But don't take them out of that pan just yet, or that flat tray, whatever you got. Let them sit there about 2 minutes. Then wiggle that spatula in there, oh so easy. Set them on a wire rack, let them cool. But Ken ain't got no electric range. He ain't got no gas range. He got a Dutch oven. You probably think to yourself, it's pretty simple to cook a cookie. Folks, one of the hardest things you can really cook in a Dutch oven is a cookie, because it's hard to regulate that bottom heat to where it's just not really burning, but it can be done. So we're going to show you how here. Okay, I got another tip for you. I need you to take you some of this and grease your fingers just a little, and then I want you to grease the bottom of that spoon. Now I like to take a pretty good heaping tablespoon like so, and you can see that dough is what I call just right. But I need you to go ahead and just roll it. You can make these the size of a golf ball or a little smaller, but just go ahead. One thing you got to remember, you want to stay about 3 inches from each other. Folks, you can see when we're mixing these. Now, you may have to add a little flour, but if you've got too much, it's going to be a dry cookie. So you want to be able to roll them around. See what I'm talking about? The longer you roll it, which the warmer that dough gets, but you want to be able to form that in a ball without it really sticking too much to your hands. That way you'll know if you got not enough flour or too much. Now, folks, when you cook these in a Dutch oven and you're camping, you want to make sure that if the ground is wet, you've already took some coals over there and dried that spot out to where you're going to place your Dutch oven. But if also you have a lot of forage there, like if it's green grass or something like that, folks, that green grass is going to take away from some of that heat that you're putting them live coals on. So I always like to go out there too and sort of burn me off a spot. Now you saw that Dutch oven sitting on a trivet, which is what I call the tall one, which is 5 inches tall, because we need that extra height when we're cooking with coals and something that's that easy to burn, because 2 sugars, it's going to burn pretty quick if it gets a chance. So make sure you got it on a trivet, but if you don't and you're sitting right on the ground, folks, we're going to back them coals off a long way, and we're going to be really light because we don't want to burn any of this up. Now, when we go to place coals around this Dutch oven that's full of them cookies, we're going to go pretty light around the outside perimeter, but probably about, I'd say, that far away from that Dutch oven to start out with. Then we can sort of regulate our heat by pulling it in, take it away. We can always scoot heat to it or add heat, but we cannot take that heat away when it is overdone. Be sure and check out all our stuff on Dutch ovens, because we do a lot of it on this channel. It'll help you be a better Dutch oven cook. Different coals make different heat. Hardwood's going to make the best, but sometimes even in a lot of humidity, which we have today, can be oppressive to a fire, so make sure you check it. Hand length away, can you hold it for more than 5 seconds? If you can't, it's all right, but if you can, them coals is not quite hot enough to get the job done. Probably one of the other greatest factors that you can have in cooking in a Dutch oven to make you a better cook is what we call rotation. You just keep rotating. Really, it is the lid goes one way, the bottom goes the other. Now, what we're doing is we're evening out any hot spot we might have on that Dutch oven all the way around, because good cast iron is going to hold heat, but it's also going to transfer it. Rotation is your friend. Do it more when it's windy. Well, folks, it's time to be checking on these. We have rotated twice, and this is what I'm talking about when you first begin to see that brown in there, and this one is sort of doing that, so we're going to rotate. But it ain't going to be long. We're going to take them cookies off that bottom heat, and finish cooking this top. In fact, with good cast iron, I'd say there's enough heat left in there to finish that bottom, so let's just set it right over here. Hope and pray for the best. You know, if you're cooking something in a Dutch oven and you feel like it's maybe browning too fast or cooking too fast, you can always set that off the heat for a little bit. You can bring it back, but that's what you call turning the knob down to slow that oven down. I don't think you can beat this cookie. This is probably the best cookie I've ever eaten in my life. I do love me some cookies, I do, because they are good eating. Folks, make a whole bunch of these because they ain't gonna last long. And hey, don't worry about the pups. They got to lick the spatula there a while ago. They have been took care of. And as always, I tip my hat to all our servicemen and women and all the veterans who have kept that flag flying. We commend you and thank you. The rest of you, come on in here. Y'all know what time it is. It is big hug time. But I ask you, this time is a little different. Hug the one next to you. It would mean the world. But also, God bless you each and every one. And I'll see you down the best chocolate chip cookie trail. I gotta wash my dishes when I cook. I don't like to just leave them up here dirty because Duke and Big and all them, they just get it so clean. So I gotta do the rest.
Is it a Maytag?
It is a Maytag. It may tag you if you get too close to that stove. It'll tag you and leave a spot on you, I promise you that.